On March 17, 1993, something was captured in the Gifford Pinchot National Forest. Not by hunters, not by researchers, by a joint task force involving the FBI, US Forest Service, and an agency so classified that even 30 years later, I can't name it in this recording. What they captured measured 9 feet, 2 inches tall, weighed approximately 780 pounds, and when Special Agent Marcus Webb entered the interrogation room at 11:47 p.m. that night, the creature spoke to him in broken but unmistakable English. What it said in that room, recorded on classified audio that I've heard exactly once, wasn't about where it came from or what it was. It was a warning about us, about what's coming, about why they've been watching us for thousands of years and what they've seen that terrifies them. 3 people were in that room: Special Agent Marcus Webb, Dr. Patricia Chen, a linguistics expert from Georgetown, and the creature they designated Subject 7. Only 2 people walked out. My name is James Rourke, and I spent 11 years with the FBI before I resigned in 2004. What I'm about to tell you cost me my career, my pension, and nearly my life. But 30 years is long enough to stay silent. Let's begin. I wasn't in the room that night. I came in later, part of the cleanup team, the people who handle things when operations go catastrophically wrong. But Marcus Webb was my training officer, my mentor, a man who'd spent 23 years with the Bureau investigating everything from organized crime to domestic terrorism. He'd seen horrors, interrogated serial killers, stared down cartel bosses. He told me once, a week before he disappeared, that nothing in his entire career had prepared him for what happened in that room. It wasn't the fact that it could talk, Marcus said, his hands shaking around a whiskey glass at a dive bar in Virginia. It was what it said, and how it said it. Like it was disappointed in us, like we were children who'd failed a test we didn't know we were taking. Let me back up, tell you how they caught it. March 1993. The Olympic Peninsula in Washington state. For 6 weeks, local law enforcement had been receiving reports of something stealing livestock. Not killing, stealing. Entire cows disappearing from pastures, horses missing from stables. But no blood, no tracks, at least none that made sense. Just gone. The FBI got involved when a rancher named Dale Hutchins called 911 screaming that something had walked into his barn, picked up a 200-pound bull like it was nothing, and carried it into the forest on 2 legs. I shot at it, Hutchins told investigators, unloaded a 12-gauge into its back. It didn't even flinch, just kept walking. Turned around once, looked at me, and I swear to God, it shook its head, like it was disappointed I'd tried. The Bureau classified it as a potential wildlife incident and sent a small team. When they found the tracks, footprints measuring 19 inches long, stride length over 7 feet, they called in more resources. That's when things got strange. Marcus told me that within 8 hours of finding those prints, federal agents from 3 agencies he'd never heard of showed up with equipment he'd never seen. Mobile containment units, tranquilizer systems designed for something specific, not experimental, purpose-built. They knew, Marcus said. They knew exactly what they were hunting. This wasn't a first contact situation, this was retrieval. The operation took 4 days. They tracked it to a cave system in the National Forest, used thermal imaging to confirm it was inside. Then they did something Marcus said violated every protocol he knew. They pumped sedative gas directly into the cave system. It should have killed it, Marcus told me. The concentration they used would have killed a grizzly bear, but 20 minutes later, it walked out of that cave, staggering, disoriented, but alive. And when it saw us, saw all the agents with weapons, it didn't fight. It raised its hands, like it was surrendering, like it had done this before. They transported it in a modified shipping container to a facility I can't name in a location I won't specify. Somewhere in Virginia, underground. The kind of place that doesn't exist on any map. Marcus was brought in because of his interrogation experience. The thinking was, if it could understand commands, maybe it could communicate. Maybe they could learn something. Dr. Chen was there for linguistic analysis, to determine if its vocalizations were language or just mimicry. They had no idea what they were walking into. The interrogation room was modified. Reinforced steel walls. Observation glass 3 inches thick. Restraint system rated for 8,000 pounds of force. Subject 7 sat in the center, massive, even restrained, covered in dark reddish-brown hair, face that was almost human, but not, broad, flat, intelligent eyes that tracked every person who entered the room. Marcus told me that when he first walked in, the creature made a sound, low, rumbling, not aggressive, almost like recognition. It knew what I was, Marcus said, not me specifically, but what I represented, authority, government. It had seen people like me before. Dr. Chen set up her equipment, audio recorders, spectrogram analysis prepared to document whatever sounds it made. Marcus sat down across from it, tried to establish baseline communication. "Can you understand me?" Silence. The creature watched him, unblinking. "We're not here to hurt you. We just want to understand. Can you tell us your name, where you came from?" More silence. Then the creature did something unexpected. It spoke. One word. Clear. Deliberate. "Name." The word hung in the air. Marcus and Dr. Chen exchanged looks. The observation room, filled with agents and officials, went completely silent. "Yes," Marcus said carefully. "Your name. What do you call yourself?" The creature's voice was deep, resonant, like rocks grinding together, but the English was unmistakable. "No. Name. Not like you. We don't. Separate. We. Dr. Chen leaned forward. "You're saying you don't have individual names? You have a collective identity?" "Yes. We. Observers. Watchers. Here. Before you. Here. After you." Marcus told me his blood ran cold at those last 3 words. "Here. After you." What do you mean, after us?" Marcus asked. The creature tilted its head. That gesture was eerily human, considering. "You are ending. Your species. Ending soon. We have watched cycles before. Species that grow too fast, too hungry, too blind. They always end. You are ending now." Indeed, for the next 2 hours, Marcus and Dr. Chen asked questions, and Subject 7 answered, in broken English, mixed with its own language. A combination of clicks, hums, and vocalizations that Dr. Chen later said showed sophisticated grammatical structure. The creature told them things that Marcus said the people in the observation room didn't want to hear. "How long have you been watching us?" Dr. Chen asked. "Thousands of your years, since you came down from trees. We were already here, already watching. You were curious. We thought maybe you would be different." "Different from what?" "From others, other species that became like you, smart, tool users, builders. They all ended themselves. You are doing same thing, faster than most." Marcus pressed. "What do you mean we're ending ourselves? How?" Subject 7's eyes, those disturbingly intelligent eyes, looked directly at Marcus. "You poison your own nest, kill your own food sources, fight your own tribe, over things that don't matter, resources you don't need, land you don't use. You build weapons to destroy each other, faster than you build tools to help each other. We've been watching for generations of your kind, thousands of your years. Every time you solve one problem, you create 3 more. Every time you grow, you consume more. Every time you discover something, you use it to kill." Dr. Chen's voice was shaking. "Are you saying humanity is going to go extinct soon?" "Not extinct, change, fall. Your cities will empty, your numbers will fall, not from war, not from disease, from collapse. Your systems are too complicated, too fragile. When one part breaks, everything breaks. Food stops, water stops, power stops, and you have forgotten how to survive without these things." "When?" Marcus asked. "When is this going to happen?" Subject 7 was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Already happening. You just don't see. Like animal bleeding, doesn't notice until it falls. Your world bleeding, your oceans dying, your air changing, your weather becoming angry. You notice pieces, but not pattern, not the truth. And you've seen this before? With other species?" "Yes, many times. Across Long time. Species evolve, grow smart, build, expand, then collapse. Some survive. Small numbers, in hiding like us. Some disappear. Completely. You will be somewhere between. Marcus told me that's when one of the officials in the observation room ordered them to ask a specific question. A question that changed everything. If you've been watching us for thousands of years, why didn't you warn us? Why didn't you try to help? Subject 7's expression changed. Something like sadness. Something like pity. We tried. Your ancestors. Before cities. Before metal. Before fire became weapon. We tried to show different way. To live with forest. To take only what is needed. To move with seasons. To leave places. To heal. What happened? You didn't listen. You never listen. You're kind, curious but not wise, smart but not thoughtful. You see what is possible and do it. Without asking if you should, without thinking of cost. We tried again, different times, different places. Some of your people understood, lived quietly, took only what they needed, died peacefully. But most wanted more, always more. More food, more space, more children, more things. The word enough, not in your language, not in your minds. Dr. Chen was crying. Marcus told me she was actually crying during the interrogation. So you gave up on us. Not gave up. Accepted. Accepted what you are. Accepted what you will become. We are sad. Because you had potential. You are beautiful creatures, creative, capable of great kindness, great art, great love, but also great cruelty, great destruction, great blindness. And cruelty always wins, destruction always wins, blindness always wins, because they are easier, faster, more exciting. Being kind takes effort, being wise takes time, but being cruel, being destructive, being blind, these are easy, natural, default. Marcus told me there was a long silence in the room. Then he asked the question he'd been dreading. What happens to us after the collapse? Do we survive? Do we rebuild? Subject 7 looked at him, really looked at him, and Marcus said he saw something in those eyes he hadn't expected. Compassion. Some survive. Always some survive. Humans are stubborn, resilient, like cockroach. You will survive. Small groups, hidden places, living simply, slowly, carefully. But not like this, not cities, not technology, not comfort. You will learn, finally, what it means to be part of nature, not above it, part of it. You will learn to be humble, or you will die. Nature does not negotiate. Nature does not compromise. You bend to nature, or nature breaks you. This is truth. This is always truth. The interrogation continued. Subject 7 answered questions about its species, about where they lived, how they survived, how they avoided detection. But it also asked questions about why humans destroyed forests, why we poisoned rivers, why we fought wars over borders we couldn't eat or drink. And according to Marcus, nobody in that room had good answers. Then came the moment that ended everything. One of the officials in observation, Marcus wouldn't tell me which agency, ordered him to ask about population numbers, locations, breeding patterns, tactical information. Subject 7 had been cooperating, answering, engaging. But when Marcus started asking those questions, it went silent. Completely silent. I can't tell you that, Subject 7 said quietly. Why not? Because you will hunt us, like you always do. You will capture us, study us, kill us, like you do to everything you don't understand, everything you fear. We won't. You lie. You are lying now, in this room. Behind that glass, there are people who already want to dissect me, to learn how I work, to see if they can use me, to make weapons, or tools, or experiments. That's not... I can smell it. Fear. Curiosity, greed, the three smells humans always carry. Fear of what I am, curiosity about what I know, greed for what I could give you. Marcus told me he saw the creature's hands, those massive hands, tighten into fists. I made mistake, coming here, speaking, thinking maybe you would listen, maybe you would hear, but you don't listen. You never listen. You just take. You always just take. An alarm started going off. Subject 7 was straining against the restraints, not violently but deliberately, testing them. The metal groaned. Security moved in, tried to sedate it, but Subject 7 did something nobody expected. It spoke directly to Marcus. Ignoring everyone else, just Marcus. Tell your children, tell your grandchildren. The world they know is ending. Not because of us, because of you. And when it ends, when the collapse comes, remember, we tried to warn you, we tried to show you, but you chose this. The creature's eyes locked on Marcus. You personally, you are not bad man, not evil, just blind, like all your kind. You see trees but not forest. You see days but not years. You see yourself but not species. This blindness is why you will fall. And then Subject 7 did something that shouldn't have been possible. It broke free. The restraints, rated for 8,000 pounds, snapped like string. The creature stood, 9 feet of muscle and intelligence. Every agent in the room drew weapons. Subject 7 ignored them. It walked to Marcus, bent down, put one massive hand on Marcus's shoulder. I am sorry. Sorry you will live to see what is coming. Sorry your children will pay for what your species did. Sorry you carry burden of knowing truth. Then it walked to the reinforced door, the door that required 3 men to open. And it tore it off the hinges like cardboard. Alarms everywhere, gunfire, chaos. But Subject 7 didn't attack anyone, didn't kill, didn't even hurt. It just walked through the facility, through corridors, through security checkpoints, like it knew exactly where it was going. Like it had memorized the layout just from being transported in. It reached an emergency exit, ripped through the steel door, and disappeared into the Virginia woods. By the time the tactical teams mobilized, it was gone. The facility went into lockdown. Every agent was debriefed, threatened. The operation was classified beyond top secret. The audio recordings were seized. Dr. Chen's analysis was confiscated. Marcus was told in no uncertain terms, what happened in that room never happened. Subject 7 didn't exist. The interrogation never occurred. 2 weeks later, Dr. Patricia Chen's car went off a bridge in Maryland. She died instantly. The official report said she fell asleep at the wheel. Marcus told me she'd contacted him the night before, said she'd made copies of her analysis, said she was going to go public, said the world needed to know. She's not the first, Marcus had said, staring into his whiskey. Over the years, I've heard rumors, other scientists, other witnesses, people who tried to reveal what they knew. They all end up dead. Accidents, suicides, disappearances. Why are you telling me this? I'd asked him. If it's that dangerous, because I'm already dead. Marcus had looked at me with hollow eyes. I'm 61 years old. 3 months ago, they diagnosed me with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I've got maybe 6 months, and I'm not spending my last days carrying this secret. He slid an envelope across the table. This is everything I remember, everything it said, everything I witnessed. If something happens to me, when something happens to me, you decide what to do with it. Marcus Webb disappeared 3 days later. His car was found abandoned near Great Falls Park. No body, no evidence of foul play. The official report said he likely took his own life due to his terminal diagnosis. I don't believe that. I think they found out he was talking. I think they made sure he couldn't talk anymore. The envelope contained 17 pages, handwritten, detailing everything, the capture, the interrogation, the warnings, the escape. I kept it hidden for 20 years, too scared to do anything with it, too scared of ending up like Dr. Chen, like Marcus. But last month I was diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. I've got maybe a year, maybe less. And I realized Marcus was right. You don't spend your last days carrying secrets, so I'm telling you, knowing it'll be dismissed, knowing I'll be called crazy, knowing the government will deny every word. But 31 years ago, something escaped from a classified facility in Virginia. Something intelligent, something that had been watching humanity for thousands of years. And it told us we're ending, not from war, not from disease, from our own blindness, our own greed. Our own inability to see that growth without limit is cancer, not progress. I don't know if Subject 7 is still out there. I don't know if there are others. But I know this. Everything it said in that room is coming true. The climate destabilizing, ecosystems collapsing, social systems fracturing, resource depletion accelerating. It's not a prediction anymore. It's happening, and we're still not listening. 3 weeks ago, I received something in the mail. No return address, just a small package. Inside was a single item, a carved wooden figure, primitive but clearly deliberate. 2 beings, one human-sized, one much larger, standing together, and a note, 4 words, in the same broken English from 30 years ago. We are still watching. I don't know how long I have left. ALS is relentless. My hands shake now. Typing this took hours, but I needed to tell this story. Needed someone to know what Marcus died trying to reveal, what Dr. Chen died trying to expose. We were warned 31 years ago by something that had watched species rise and fall for thousands of years, and we did exactly what it predicted. We ignored it, dismissed it, buried it, because accepting the warning would mean changing, and change is harder than denial. If this story made you think about what's coming, not from creatures in the forest, but from our own choices, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. And ask yourself, are we still blind? Or are we finally starting to see? If you want more true Bigfoot stories that force us to look in the mirror, subscribe to Silent Bigfoot Stories and turn on the notification bell. We upload new encounters every week. And remember, the scariest thing isn't what lives in the forest watching us. It's what they've seen, what they know, what they're waiting to see happen, because we were warned and we chose not to listen. Until next time.